I wired money on a boat I never owned. $15,000 gone. And the thing is, I thought I was doing everything right. I'm going to show you exactly how that happened and why losing that money is the reason that I ended up in this boat instead. So I started small and I moved up. Finally, from the 12-footer to the 32-foot bay liner, I started taking her out into the ocean, and somewhere between that 32-foot bay liner and the ocean, I got that itch that I needed to go bigger, baby.
Hey, what is up, guys? All right, this is Cruise Out Day 16. It was just a lot of different things that happened throughout this whole trip. But one thing that I really took notice of is we need a bigger boat.
The real kicker is taking the 32-foot bay liner into the ocean. That part wasn't the mistake. The part that's coming up next was. Sarah had thought I lost my mind. Turns out, I think she was kind of right. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happened and what I wish I had done differently. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video where I give you the 3 things that I do before any deposit goes anywhere, baby. We're talking about things that would have saved my family and I every dollar of that $15,000. But before we do that, let's talk about Motor Yacht Endurance. Motor Yacht Endurance was a 1979 53-foot Hatteras yacht fisherman. We picked it up at a Glen Cove Marina in Vallejo, California. This thing was beautiful. It was the right size, it was the right brand, and baby, it was at the right price. We drive out to see it. We walk through the whole thing. And I remember it like it was yesterday, which is pretty painful. I stood there on the bridge and I looked up and I declared to the family, this is the one. So after an initial inspection, we put down the deposit. We bought furniture. We bought mattresses. We started moving in, baby. I mean, we were in. We were fully in. And then our survey started. And then after more than a couple of inspections and more than a couple of questions, a mechanic came back with news that was not what was expected. There were problems. I mean, real problems. The kind of problems that changed the math entirely. So I had to make a decision, walk away or keep talking ourselves into this. And we walked away. $15,000 gone. And I want you to understand what that money was. That money was blood money, baby. That money was the blood, sweat, and tears of years of making signs, because that's what I do, baby. And years of my wonderful wife teaching other people's kids. Blood, sweat, and tears. That's what we wired. And it didn't come back. So let's get into it, baby. So let me show you exactly what that path looked like. Step number 1, we found a boat. So I'm going to call that a check. It felt super good. This boat was amazing. So I will call that starry-eyed, and I'll call that a check. And was I getting all in? Yeah, we were all in. $15,000. Like I said, blood, sweat, and tears, baby. So all in. Yeah, we were all in. Step 2 in this process, survey. So we got a survey going and we got our mechanic going. But from here, we ran into this, problems. So let's get that on the board. And step 3 was we talked ourselves into it. So we're going to get that on the board. Talked ourselves. And when I say talked ourselves into it, somebody didn't talk us into it. We talked ourselves into it. And we put that beautiful 15K down. Or if you've talked yourself into a boat, comment down below. I'd be really curious to hear your specific situation when you talked yourself into a boat. But right now, typically this is when most people are done. We're not done, baby. This is when things get interesting. Step 4 definitely required a hard reset. So let's look at that, baby. So we got step number 4, and that turned into a reset. Don't tell anybody. I think Sarah might have been a little correct. We're going to step 5 now, and that is a bit of a roller coaster. Stranger walks in. Well, that's Captain Jack. So we got to get Captain Jack on the board because this guy is noteworthy. So, boom. Step 5. Stranger comes in. We introduce Captain Jack. Okay, so now we're on to step 6. This actually equals 4 days. And you might be wondering, what does 4 days equal? This is the best part. 4 days equals Ecsta-Sea. That's the boat we're on right now. And that $15,000 bought me something. It wasn't a boat. It bought me something I was never going to get any other way. So now I want to share with you the 3 things I do now before a deposit goes anywhere. And rule 1 is going to be fairly simple. We're going to want to make sure that we have those pre-conversations prior to the survey. So we're going to have conversations and significant, detailed, written conversations prior to the survey. So that way that's all documented and it's not just words before you go to that $2,500, $5,000 survey. Let's get rule number 2 on the board here. Making sure you have your budget in place even before your survey. And if you guys haven't seen it, check out our last video where we went over the 4 biggest boat buying mistakes. You'll see it in a link below, but that's definitely something you want to check out. But again, rule number 2, budget the survey before the boat. So budget and then your boat. And when I say budget and then your boat, I don't just mean your purchase price.
Okay, so now we're going to get into rule number 3, baby. So first, rule number 3 is you need to know your walk-away number. So what's that number that you're willing to walk away? The second part of that is at what point are you willing to leave your deposit on the table based on newfound information? So you got new information, hence the question mark, and that changes your number. So you got your new information, points to a new number. At what point are you now willing to completely walk away from the deal? $15,000 gone for me to learn 3 rules. But I've graduated, and I hope you do too. So there I was. We just spent $15,000 on a boat, and I'm sitting around trying to figure out what to tell Sarah. That's when things actually started to come together. A stranger came into our life.
I had been reaching out to numerous captains looking for lessons on how to drive this much bigger boat. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm looking to sell my boat." And I told him, "No can do. I already bought a boat." And this is where things got interesting. He literally said to me, "If you stop what you're doing right now on the Hatteras that you own, you're going to have a great deal." It was like, how could this be way worse than we thought? We started the boat up, everything rocked out, everything was good except for that big puff of gray smoke. So Sarah said, "Let's go look at it." And we did. Let me give you some context to that, though. And it's approximately 2:15 in the afternoon. We're talking to Captain Jack about something entirely unrelated. And then he says, "You need to go look at this boat." And we did. We dropped everything we were doing and we pivoted. We're literally 4 days after Motor Yacht Endurance, and I am standing on the bow of the 60-foot 1976 Motor Yacht Ecsta-Sea, baby. I couldn't have been more excited, and this time we did it right. So it was really simple, actually. Survey first, numbers first, sea trial, and then the money went. This boat is everything that I hoped the Endurance would be. The $15,000 my wife and I lost is the reason we didn't rush this one, baby. And this one's difficult to say, but blood money paid for the best lesson I've ever received.
Are you thinking about buying a boat? Or if you're thinking about buying a bigger boat?
We want to make sure that you don't run into the same situation we did. And when you've got loved ones on board, you've got a crew, and you've got a budget, like most of us do, baby, we want to make sure that we can eliminate those decisions. Learn from our experience. And I would definitely encourage you, if you're looking at a boat that's under, say, that 50K range, check out that amazing free toolkit checklist that we have. It is going to save you thousands. But if you're looking at spending $50,000 to $250,000 on a boat, I really encourage you to check out our boat buying blueprint down below. Ultimately, guys, this is a community, and we want people to come together and share their information. So I'd really encourage you and ask of you to comment down below. Share your negative experiences. Get out there. If you can save another family or another aspiring sailor, another aspiring cruiser, their life savings, that should feel good. And if that's the case, and you have that experience, you need to comment down below to help folks get away from these reoccurring mistakes, because I know what I did wasn't a mistake that was completely brand new. I made a mistake that multiple other boaters have made. And that's the whole point of this video, is to stop that cycle and let's go boating, baby.